All right, now I've been hard on you guys lately, ladies. I know I have been like going in on y'all. It's all out of love. I've been putting my foot, anyways. It's all out of love. The reason why I've been making this video, is because there's a lot of buzzwords going around about how men don't cheat, they just exercise options. All right. Cheating, you cannot change the definition of cheating. There has to be some fallacy that I don't even want to pull up right now, but it has to be some type of fallacy. Y'all look it up. But in order to convince somebody of something, you don't change the definition. That's called sophistry. That's called manipulation. That's called rhetoric. You're playing some type of game, but you're not actually being honest. You're being dishonest. Because it's very easy to change a definition to throw off everybody's intuition or to kind of move the goalpost, basically. Now, men do cheat. They do not exercise options. How do I know this? Because it's self-evident. How does it feel when somebody cheats on you? Feels bad. How do most people feel when they cheat on people? They feel bad, whether it be before or after. Some people who don't have any remorse from when they cheat, you would want to avoid, right? Okay, so you kind of get my idea. It doesn't matter what rational explanation they have, it is still a despicable trait to have. You don't betray people's trust. But the problem is, what Kevin is trying to show you guys, Mr. Kevin Samuels, is that men don't cheat, they exercise options. So let me flip to another perspective here. What about the man who is honest with you, who tells you, you know what, sometimes I love you, but I'm gonna need to step out. I just need to do my thing. A lot of men will say, men don't necessarily cheat the same. That might be true. It might be true in the context that a man has a very high libido throughout most of his life, or at least throughout a large part of his life. So his libido is going to be high, and he has to release it sometimes. And sometimes he might just release it in your best friend, or at one of your homegirls, or he might accidentally slip up, but he still cares about you. He just made a mistake, and that can be true. However, it is not acceptable. That is the problem. Kevin is trying to get you guys to accept a cheating man, a man with no integrity. But here's where it gets tricky, because what he's trying to say is, I want to maintain my integrity so long as I tell you that I want to cheat openly. As long as I openly tell you, hey, I'm going to sometimes step out. I'm just going to make sure that I don't bring home any STDs, pregnancies, or I don't embarrass you. I'm telling you, I'm going to stab you in the back in the future, and I want you to accept this now. That's actually even more disrespectful, because he's saying, hey, look, this is who I am. And I know this goes against your very inherent nature as a woman or as a human being. I know this goes against every fiber in your being to accept this, but I need you to. Why? Just because. He'll try and rationalize it because men are meant to spread their seed and all that BS. You guys watched my other video. I'll put it in the link probably right here if I can. He will try and convince you in some rationalistic way, but deep down inside, your intuition basically tells you nah, that don't make sense. I'm just going to sit in your spirit. You're going to say, you know what? I know what you're saying and it makes sense, but at the same time, there's just something about that I can't sit with. That's your conscience telling you, look, you need to run away from this person. You need to run far away from this person. You need to tell this guy to kick rocks with open-toed sandals, because when he's trying to peddle you and when he's selling you, he basically thinks you are like his toe jam. He doesn't think highly of you at all, and he won't. because that's the reason why he even has the audacity to say something like this. See, men who don't respect women, men who don't revere women, I'm not saying you got to pedestalize her. I'm not saying you got to be a Captain Save 'em. I'm not saying you got to be, a white knight. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying you treat them with due regard and due respect, because that is just a biblical principle. You don't disrespect people fundamentally, or before you meet them, you just don't do certain things. So what he's telling you is, I think you are beneath me. I don't think you are worthy. I not only do I not see you as an equal, I don't even see you as anything worthy of respect. I look down on you. I spit on you. That is what he's doing when he tries to convince you of this crap. So don't ever, if somebody says this, if somebody tells you this, it should be equivalent to somebody who's a no-call, no-show twice at work. They're on the verge of being straight fired. So take it like that. It should be a very, very egregious breach of contract, because it is the opposite of love. It is the opposite of companionship. See, let me explain this. You cannot love somebody if you don't love yourself. Where did that come from? It didn't come from some stupid movie, or it didn't come from Dawson's Creek, or Seventh Heaven, or any sitcom. It is a proverb that comes directly out of the Bible. Why? Because it says, love thy neighbor, what? As thyself. So this infers that the prerequisite to love is self-love. So if you don't love yourself first, it is impossible for you to love somebody else. So when I bring that up to say this, if somebody tries to bring you this crap about, I just want to exercise my options, honey, I promise I won't embarrass you, you need to ask yourself, do I love myself? Because I guarantee you, anybody who accepts these terms that this man might present, wherever he is, they don't love themselves, and they're not in a loving relationship, because self-love means self-care. Self-love means self-protection. Self-love means self-preservation, self-dignity, self-respect, self-value. But when you lower your dignity, your value, your respect to be with a man who's exercising options, you don't love yourself and you don't love him. You are in a merely heartbreaking, traumatizing, bonding, tie. You're not in any loving relationship. You can't. This is not Disney. This is not Disney. This is not, happily ever after. This is literally broke, busted, and disgusted, as my friend Tony Gaskin says. So at the end of the day, run away. So yeah, y'all take care.